Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. Come on now, y'all can do better than that. Yes, 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 yes. All right, all right. All right. Welcome to the NKOSI channel. Third eye open. And anytime you're speaking about us,
when my name come up, respect.
You heard it. I ain't gonna say. All right, man. Hope everybody got some good rest, good sleep. Hope you woke up in good positive vibes. And hey man, listen. Here's a message for anybody who's never been here before. It's a message just for you. That's what the message is there for. It's for anybody who happened to click on this video. Maybe I might not say the right words out of my mouth. You know? That's what we put it there for. This is good ground. And right off bat, man, let's get straight to it. I got some emails, man. And well, let's get right to it and let's get to talking about it. So one of the emails says that my channel is for, and that's the reason I put some respect on my name. They said my channel is about tearing down white people. I guess they watched the cannibalism video I just did. Let me tell you something. You mad about the truth? Are you angry about the truth? Because those are facts. Now listen. Pay attention. Hear me clearly. This channel is not about putting white folks down. I repeat, this channel is not about putting white folks down. It is about uplifting black folks. Let me repeat. This channel is about uplifting black folks and the betterment of our colored people. That's what this channel is about. Okay? Now that I got that out of the way. Listen. This is a black channel. Do you see these black gods on the wall? Huh? This is a black channel. Listen, if there's something you don't like on this channel, nobody's gonna be angry with you for not liking it. Guess what? I foreseen this before I started this channel, and that is why those comments are off. And that is why they're gonna stay off. So anything you disagree with, man, listen, there's a button there. You can hit dislike. Nobody's gonna be mad. Guess what? I got all my subscribers. I got everybody kept private. Nobody will know who you are. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be angry. I'm not even responding. I'm not even gonna call your name. Nobody's angry. And with that being said, let's get to what we're gonna talk about. We don't have to all be the same. We don't have to all talk about the same thing. Okay? And with that being said, welcome to the NKOSI channel, Third Eye Open. We got a lot we're gonna get through today. All definitions will be coming up out of the New Webster's New World Dictionary of the American Languages, Special School Printing, Second College Edition. And our topic today, y'all ready? Whew. Getting hot up in here, man. We at 8 minutes. We making good time. I try to get my videos done as quick as possible, man. I don't like long videos because It's a pain having to render and edit these videos, so I want to get everything done on a timely manner. And that brings me to our topic today, which is an old ancient African proverb. It says, cleanliness is next to godliness. This is an old ancient African proverb. I'll repeat it one more time. It's cleanliness is next to godliness. And if you look on the screen, I'll put a picture up there of how the priests would anoint and cleanse and wash themselves before they came into the temples in ancient Kemet. So when you got to your Bible, you'll see they took these things about washing and cleansing it before you go into the presence of God. They got that all out of Africa. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And that brings us to our first definition. Now, this is why I told all of my listeners and my subscribers, if you can find an old dictionary, to buy it. That's one definition for the word clean. Now, if you Google the word clean, you put it in your internet, your computer, it won't give you all of that. But you're going to see. We're going to go so deep with this. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Listen, definition for the word clean. Pure, P-U-R-E, pure. To gleam, be gay. Now, when it says be gay, that means happy. That's what it means. Clean, happy. Okay? The opposite of that would be miserable, upset. And you could oppositely put that with dirty. You got it? You understand, because we're talking about clean. Clean equals pure. To gleam, be gay, which is happy. Gleaming white, listen. Gleaming white, gleaming bright, free from dirt, free from contamination or impurities, unsoiled, unstained, recently laundered, fresh, unused, morally pure, sinless, not obscene or indecent, keeping oneself or one's surroundings clean, neat and tidy, innocent, to make clean, to remove dirt, to make clean, to make oneself clean and neat, get washed, combed, etc., groomed, clean up. The broader term denotes generally the removal of dirt or impurities as by washing, brushing, etc., to cleanse, and metaphorically used to imply purification. That's the definition for clean. Let me go over it one more time. Clean means to be pure, to gleam, to be gay, and that means to be happy. Gleaming white. Notice how they want white to be gleaming. Listen, gleaming white, gleaming bright, free from dirt, free from contamination or impurities, unsoiled, unstained, recently laundered, fresh and unused. Listen, morally pure, sinless, not obscene or indecent. Innocent, to make clean, to remove dirt, to make clean, to make oneself clean and neat, get washed, combed, etc., groomed, clean up. The broader term denotes generally the removal of dirt or impurities, as by washing, brushing, etc., to cleanse, and metaphorically used to imply purification. Keep in mind the topic is cleanliness is next to godliness. That is an old African proverb. Okay? Now what we're going to do, we're going to go to AI overview. This is off the internet. No, I don't like to use the internet too much, but when I do, I glean from it. This is AI overview. I will put it on the screen. It says, the saying, cleanliness is next to godliness, means that maintaining a clean and tidy environment is a desirable, virtuous quality, often associated with spiritual purity or reverence for God. Now, that all came out of Africa. That's why we got the old ancient African proverb, cleanliness is next to godliness. Listen, the saying cleanliness is next to godliness means that maintaining a clean and tidy environment is a desirable and virtuous quality, often associated with spiritual purity or reverence for God. While not a direct biblical quote, listen, It gained popularity through John Wesley. Now, this is this white guy they're giving this credit to, but it started way in ancient Africa. Anyway, listen. While not a direct biblical quote, it gained popularity through John Wesley's writing in the 18th century. The phrase emphasizes the importance of cleanliness, both physically and perhaps spiritually, suggesting that a clean state reflects a positive and morally upright individual. Listen, here's a more detailed breakdown. Origin. The phrase is attributed to John Wesley, which that's a lie. Anyway, we're going to skip all of that. Here we go. Meaning, the core idea is that being clean, listen, is a positive attribute that is closely linked to a sense of godliness or spiritual well-being. It suggests that maintaining a clean space reflects a virtuous and reverent state of mind. Did y'all get that? One more time. The core idea is that being clean is a positive attribute that is closely linked to a sense of godliness or spiritual well-being. It suggests that maintaining a clean space reflects a virtuous and reverent state of mind. Okay. Cultural significances. The saying has become a popular proverb, often used to encourage children to clean their rooms or to emphasize the importance of hygiene and order. Listen, clean. Reason why they say it's connected to godliness, because clean would be a sin-free life, if that makes any sense to you. Dirty would be a life full of sin. A clean person ain't trying to go sleep with somebody's wife. A dirty person might go try to commit adultery with somebody's wife. You see how cleanliness is next to godliness? And it ain't just on the spiritual level. It's on the physical level. You don't want to be around somebody and you come around them, they stink. I mean, in real life, they stink. They smell. You don't want to go to somebody's house and you go to their house and they got roaches. They got rats. Their house is filthy. You don't want to sit down. I tell people, man, when I go to somebody's house and their house is nasty and they say, hey, you want a drink? Only thing I can say is no. And with that being said, it's a real thing. So we got on this topic today about the cleanliness is next to godliness because, like I said, this channel is for the upbuilding of black people. And it is not for the tearing down of white people, but the things that we talk about pretty much gonna be tearing down white people. And it's not to tear them down to make them feel bad. It's to uplift our people and to get rid of the lies that's been told and put upon us, or the stuff that's been hidden from us. So it's not necessarily tearing white people down. It's actually just telling the truth to black people who had the truth hidden from them for a long time. And with that being said, there's a book, and I'm gonna put it on the screen for you. Give me a minute. There is a book written by an author. It's called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof. The author name is J.A. Rogers, okay? He also wrote From Superman to Man, Sex and Race, World's Great Men of Color, Nature Knows No Color Line. We're talking about cleanliness is next to godliness. Look what we have here. This is on page 11. Listen. The Negro arrived in the New World free from tuberculosis and syphilis or other venereal disease. Livingstone, the famous African missionary and a medical doctor, says syphilis dies out in the African interior. It seems incapable of permanence in any form in person of pure African blood. Syphilis originated in Europe. I repeat, Syphilis originated in Europe in 1494, when there was a great epidemic of it. As this was 2 years after the discovery of the New World, it was erroneously believed to have been brought back by the sailors of Columbus. Where his lying ass. Hell, Columbus probably had it himself. Probably did. Back to what we're talking about. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Oh. Let's read that again. This is out of J.A. Rogers' books, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof. It says the Negro arrived in the New World free from tuberculosis and syphilis or other venereal diseases. Livingstone, the famous African missionary and a medical doctor, says syphilis dies out in the African interior. It seems incapable of permanence in any form in persons of pure African blood. Syphilis originated in Europe in 1494 when there was a great epidemic of it. As this was 2 years after the discovery of the New World, it was erroneously believed to have been brought back by the sailors of Columbus. So, in Europe, they got syphilis. That's where it originated at. That's where it started at. Now, I'm glad I picked this book to find this book, because I'm going to show you that things that they write isn't contradictory to facts that we know. J.A. Rogers really did his homework. A lot of people didn't like him back then, but he still was publishing his books, dropping facts, okay? Now, we read that. So syphilis started, and all other kind of venereal disease started in Europe. Because they had a problem with being clean. I already did videos that tells you, we showed y'all how to wash. The Moors did that. Y'all didn't understand that. Y'all didn't understand about these diseases and these bacteria. But first of all, let's look up the word syphilis, since it originated in Europe, because it just said that the Africans, black people, they showed up in what they call the New World with no disease. And basically, let's make this plain. The Native Americans didn't have no diseases over here. And they said they showed up. Yeah, they brought some Africans over here, but Native Americans was here. They didn't have any diseases either. They didn't have no syphilis. They didn't have no tuberculosis. They didn't have any of that. All that mess originated in Europe. Now I'm going to read what syphilis is. Listen, this is from AI Overview. I put it on the screen. Syphilis is a sexually transmitted infection, a STI. All right? Now they call it infection. It's a STI, it's a STD too. Okay? Sexually transmitted disease, sexually transmitted infection. Listen, caused by bacteria called Treponema pallidum. Treponema pallidum. That's what syphilis is called. That's what a bacteria is called. Treponema pallidum. It's primarily spread through direct contact with a syphilis sore. Listen. Typically during vaginal, anal, or oral sex. Woo. I told you we're going to talk about real stuff over here. Hey man, better pay attention. It's primarily spread through direct contact with a syphilis sore. Typically during vaginal, anal, or oral sex. Pregnant women with syphilis can also pass it to their babies during pregnancy or childbirth. Listen, how you get syphilis. How you get syphilis, since it originated in Europe. Now it's going to tell you how you get syphilis. Let's find out how it originated over there. It says sexual contact. The most common way to contract syphilis is through direct contact with a syphilis sore, a canker sore, like a sore, during sexual activities. Unprotected sex, they could have a canker sore in their vaginal or on his penis. during sexual activities. These sores can be present on the genitals, rectum, or mouth. Listen. And it says mother-to-child transmission. A pregnant woman with syphilis can pass the infection to her unborn child during pregnancy, potentially leading to congenital syphilis. So, it originated by other people besides themselves. That's what they did. That's not godliness. See? That's demonically moving, okay? Cleanliness is next to godliness. So we found out how it originated in Europe. If you need more for me to read it again, I'll read it one more time. How you get syphilis? Sexual contact. The most common way to contract syphilis is through direct contact with a syphilis sore, canker, during sexual activities. These sores can be present on the genitals, rectum, or mouth. And back to the definition. This is AI overview. Syphilis is a sexually transmitted infectious disease caused by bacteria called Treponema pallidum. It's primarily spread through a direct contact with the syphilis sore, typically during vaginal, anal, or oral sex. Pregnant women with syphilis can also pass it to their babies during pregnancy or childbirth. Now pay attention. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So this is how that mess was contracted in Europe. Through vaginal, through anal, through oral sex. Unclean acts. Not only was the acts they was doing, because anal, come on, man. Unclean. The environment, unclean. Where they was living and how they was maneuvering, period, was unclean, dirty, filthy, unpure. Get back to the definition of clean. It was unpure. It was well, right here it says to be gay. We already know to be gay means to be happy, but here they was probably really being, I don't have to go into that, because we just read one of them was anal or oral sex. Impurities. They were stained, unfresh, immoral, unpure, full of sin, obscene, indecent, surrounded by filth, not neat, guilty, dirt everywhere. And I'm just I'm just reading the direct opposite of the definition of clean, filthy. Okay? That's what was going on in that environment in Europe, everywhere. Now, with that being said, I'm going here. Let me see. Okay, this is what I have, since we're talking about Europe. In Europe, they had something called the Black Death. Now this guy, whoever this is, I don't see his name on the article, but he wrote in direct opposite to what J.A. Rogers wrote. And I'm going to go with what J.A. Rogers wrote, because I don't feel like he got the reason to lie. White people always got a reason to try to cover something up, because they've been doing it. It's their history. I forgot I had coffee over here. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a minute. And with those that's listening to me, let me show you that I'm about it. It is 3:55 a.m. in the morning. Y'all sleeping. I'm up working. Pay attention and learn something, because this is when it comes to me, when y'all sleeping. This is an article he wrote called The Black Death. Imagery of the Black Death. You see the picture? ravaging cities of medieval Europe is burnt into the popular imagination, but the bubonic plague wasn't confined to Europe. It was history's worst pandemic, and it ravaged many parts of Afro. Listen, they got to put Africa in there. Listen, they say Afro-Eurasia. So he's saying it's Africa, Europe, and Asia. Boy, get out of here with that made-up mess. Let me show you how you third eye open, we can see past the mess he's saying. Killing up to 2 million people as it spread along trade routes and reshaped the social order. And you can see the picture of that. Listen. He had to put 3 people in there. He had to put Africa in there. He had to put Europe in there. He had to put Asia in there. No, that mess originated in Europe. Y'all was unclean. Y'all was unclean. Now, showed you the picture. Now that Black Death was, let me go, but let's finish reading up on this thing about syphilis. It says other rare cases, while rare syphilis can be transmitted through blood transfusion or needle sharing, it cannot be spread through casual contact like sharing toilet seats or utensils. So they didn't get it from that. They got it from exactly how I told you they got it. Sexual contact, being unclean, dirty, nasty, anal, vaginal, the mouth. That originated over in Europe. And they was dirty. Listen. Endemic syphilis in some communities with poor hygiene. That's another way it spread over there. They have poor hygiene conditions. Syphilis can be spread through non-sexual contact according to Nature Reviews, meaning the environment they in was filthy, nasty. Bacteria, germs everywhere. Endemic syphilis in some communities with poor hygiene, that was Europe back then, hygiene conditions, syphilis can be spread through non-sexual contact. And that's how it was spread, because they was having sex still. They was doing all that, but in the environment they was doing it was just filthy, nasty. Okay? Now, we read that. I read that. All right, we read that. All right, this is one of the bacterias from during the Black Death. This is the scientific name for it. It's Yersinia pestis. I'll repeat. Yersinia pestis. The Black Death, and I'll put it on the screen. The Black Death. The 14th century Black Death or bubonic plague epidemic was caused by the Yersinia pestis bacterium. These bacteria sometimes spread to humans through contact with the fluids of an infected person with like syphilis and any other venereal disease like Europe. But more commonly, it is spread by flea bites. That means the dirty area, dirty atmosphere. The bacteria gets transferred to humans when fleas vomit into their bloodstream before feeding. Ugh, that sounds disgusting. The effects of the bubonic plague are just as gross as how it spreads. Soon after the infection, the diseased person develops swelling in their lymph nodes called buboes. Lymph nodes are part of the immune system and normally filter out bad substance from the body. After buboes, internal bleeding causes swelling of pus and blood to discolor the skin. It was a horrific disease that spread quickly and without warning. Most people who contracted this plague died. That was in Europe too. They called that the Black Death or the bubonic plague. Now, when you look into Europe, you find out they have something called spring cleaning. Listen, because they were so unclean, not used to washing and cleaning themselves, and that living in filth, not used to being clean. All these germs and bacteria around, that they were getting sick all through the year. They didn't clean up. But when it came springtime, what they would do was clean out everything, get everything out of their house. Everything, no matter what it was. It was foul, could have been maggots, anything was in it. Just think filthy. Think as nasty as you could think. And that was them, okay? Just being honest. And they took that mess down there and they dumped that mess into whatever body of water they was drinking from. And that bubonic plague or that Black Death spread to everybody in Europe and people were dying from it. And that's where the term spring cleaning comes from. Look that up. If they ain't done wipe the internet clean from that. That's where the term come from. What do you think spring cleaning? I told you, man, y'all better get some books and read. Boy, they wiping the internet every day. I go back and try to find stuff, can't find it. They done moved it. But once it's here, can't do nothing about that, baby. But Yersinia pestis was a disease called leprosy. Now listen what leprosy is. Here we go. Leprosy, a chronic infectious disease caused by bacterium, Microbacterium leprae. Listen to this. Microbacterium leprae. That's the scientific name for leprosy. Leprosy is a chronic infectious disease caused by a bacterium called Microbacterium leprae that attacks the skin, the flesh, the nerves, etc. It is characterized by nodules, ulcers, white scaly scabs, deformities, and wasting of body parts, and is apparently communicated only after long and close contact. Long and close contact. Close contact is sexual contact. Like they was telling you about the vaginal, about the rectum, or oral sex. That's how it happened. And syphilis was that same type of disease that originated in Europe. So our forefathers already knew this, because you know they took this and retranslated and put it in the Bible. Those people was coming around, they was considered unclean. But what we talking about? We're talking about cleanliness being next to godliness. These people was considered unclean, unholy type people. They had this mess going on around them. And it was called leprosy. Listen, leprosy is a chronic infectious disease caused by a bacterium, Microbacterium leprae, that attacks the skin, flesh, nerves, etc. It is characterized by nodules, ulcers, white scaly scabs, deformities, and wasting of body parts, and is apparently communicated only after long and close contact. Now, that mess originated in Europe with Caucasoids, Caucasians. That's where that filthiness and those diseases and that stuff came from. Now, let's take a good look back at history, doing what they call the slave times, the slave periods. This is why Caucasians, it was so second nature to them to get a maid, to have a butler. They didn't know how to clean. The maids, who was people of color, black people. On this channel, this is what you're going to hear all the time. Listen, I'm going to always remind black people that we are upright. I'm going to always remind my people that we are the gods and the goddesses of this planet. And we're the closest thing to God on this planet. And you got to know that. If you're on this channel, I'm here to help you open your filthiness and what is dirty. Right. What is that next to? And what people practice is that. And with that being said, I'm getting ready to bring this thing to an end. We right here at 39 minutes, man. Hey, I hope I said something, man, to spark something in you to make you want to open up these books and learn more. Hey, man, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hey, and if you want to, man, donate. That's what it's down there for. Hit that cash out, man. This is good ground. We're going to always keep bringing it to you so you can learn more and more. I pray that the Most High open that third eye so you can see and recognize what's going on. Hey, until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other.